Okay, so we are going to move on to the second lesson that we did, or second session that we did for Mesopotamia. Um, so again, we want to make sure we have our study guide in our hand as we go through this material. So, religion in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamians were polytheists who worshiped many different gods connected to nature and to particular aspects of life. Each Mesopotamian city had its own god that it worshipped. Mesopotamian city-states built ziggurats for worshiping their gods. Ziggurats had temples and altars to the gods, as well as long staircases for the gods to descend to earth. Mesopotamians believed their kings were chosen by the gods. The king and the priests were in charge of religious ceremonies that were conducted to please the gods. Why does this matter? Mesopotamia was one of the earliest civilizations to have an organized religion. Their religion helped shape their society and culture. Mesopotamians built ziggurats and temples to their gods. So, number 14. What belief do the Sumerians have about the king that helped strengthen the social order? That the king was chosen by the gods. How did the Sumerian people express their religious beliefs? They constructed temples and religious towers called ziggurats. Okay? The social pyramid. Mesopotamian social class can be depicted as a social pyramid. People's level on the pyramid was determined by their profession. Although some social mobility occurred, most people stayed at the level into which they were born for their entire lives. The king was the primary political and religious figure. Priests and government officials directed the religious and administrative matters of the city-state. Artisans made the goods for the city-states. Merchants traded goods among city-states and between different ancient cultures. Scribes were the official record-keepers of society. Farmers grew the food that allowed the civilization to thrive. In return, they received protection from the king and support from the priests. Why does it matter? People from all levels of Mesopotamian society were important to the success of the civilization, although different groups had different amounts of power. Mesopotamian society was organized into a social classes that can be depicted as a social pyramid. Okay, so just trying to figure out if this can connect to anything. No, I'm going to scroll down. We're going to come back to this when we talk about Hammurabi's Code. So number 3, a series of conquests. So these are our empires. Mesopotamia was a rich land that had many sought to conquer. Sumer was a loose group of city-states between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. The Akkadian Empire was the first major empire in Mesopotamia. Sargon was the first king of the Akkadian Empire. The Babylonian Empire conquered much of Mesopotamia after the collapse of the Akkadian Empire. The Assyrian Empire was the largest of the 4 empires. The Assyrians conquered other lands easily, but they had difficulty maintaining control of their vast empire. The Chaldean Empire's king Nebuchadnezzar was a ruthless conqueror, but he also organized many great building projects in the capital city of Babylon. Because Mesopotamia had a rich agricultural land and vibrant culture, it was conquered by many different empires. Each new empire brought its own cultural aspects to Mesopotamia, while also adopting certain aspects of the existing Mesopotamian culture. So, what was the problem caused by Sumerian city-states' independence from one another? They were vulnerable to attack. What political feature made Sumerians different from the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians? They did not have one strong government. What did the Akkadians use to gain power over the Sumerians? They used military strength. How did the Akkadians get the resources to build up their capital city? They made their conquered people pay tribute. What was the purpose of Nebuchadnezzar's building 2 walls, some towers, and a moat around his capital? To protect it from invasion. What was a problem that all 4 Mesopotamian empires faced? That the empire couldn't maintain such a large area. I'm just going to make sure we didn't skip anything here. Sumerians built strong walls of mud bricks is an example of what theme of geography? Human-environment interaction. What innovation helped the people of Sumer protect their city from attack? Moats. That's number 9 and 10. What two types of communities did ancient Sumer transition between from 3500 to 3000 BCE? Self-governing cities. What were the responsibilities of the king in Sumer? To lead the army, enforce the laws, have the temples built. Number 16, why were scribes important to the Sumerian government? Scribes wrote down the laws. Okay, and I think that's all for this section. Again, if you have any questions, come up to the desk and talk to me directly. And then we're going to move on to Mesopotamian innovations. Thanks for watching.